Hello YouTube and welcome to another review. Now, at the moment of recording this, I don't know if there's going to be any gameplay on this review. I apologise if there isn't. I thought I would just say that now. And today we will be reviewing Assassin's Creed Rogue on the PC, because I haven't played it on the Xbox 360 or PS3 because I don't own one anymore. I have the Xbox One, PS4 and Wii U. So basically, if you don't know, last year in 2014, Ubisoft came up with a problem they did. 2013 they released Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now that was first released on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and then it was obviously released at launch dates, I think, for the actual Xbox One and PS4, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. And then the year after they had Unity, if you don't know, Assassin's Creed Unity. And the problem they had with that is the Xbox 360 and the PS3 could not handle it. The hardware could not actually handle that. And the problem they had is they couldn't just go, oh, here's the crossover generation, oh, bye. They couldn't just do that. They couldn't make that. They had to make a game on that generation. They said this year with Syndicate they are not doing that again. But they had to, it's hard to explain. Had to actually make one last one instead of just going straight out and saying that's it, enough. So they obviously made, for the Xbox 360 and PS3 only originally, they made Assassin's Creed Rogue. For the Xbox One, PS4 and PC, they made Assassin's Creed Unity. It was later announced Rogue was going to release on the PC this year. I think it was March. Later obviously then on the other consoles. Now if you don't know, Unity was very buggy and it was a buggy mess. Rogue, they say that Rogue was actually the better one, and basically I will, in this video, I'll actually sum that up, if it is, or is it not. Now, spoiler alert before I say this, before anyone goes nuts because I've said a spoiler. Now if you don't know, you play at first as an assassin called Shay Patrick Cormac, I think it's Shay Patrick Cormac, and basically you are in Davenport Homestead, and you go for a series of missions until you get, I think it's to Lisbon. You have to go on a mission, and because of a precursor box, the whole city collapses, and basically there's nothing left. So then Shay obviously goes back to where Davenport Homestead is, and basically he goes nuts. He's not very happy with it. And eventually he betrays the Assassin Brotherhood. So then, when he actually does that, he's actually shot. And all you see basically is like an animal scream, and you can see Shay being treated. And then I think it's a couple weeks after, in game time obviously, he wakes up in a home in New York in the game, and basically they offer him some clothes because there's gangs trying to go into the home and just trying to annoy, and it's hard to explain this bit. It's to annoy the actual owners of that home. Basically he beats them up, and then Shay goes off and pretty much kills them. Now he actually gets a coat, but the symbolism of that coat is that it's a Templar coat, because it's got the Templar logo. You then meet someone called General Monroe, and he basically takes you, and eventually, and I'm just trying to keep this as short but straight to the point as possible, so yes, there is some bits missing here, but eventually you find out General Monroe is a Templar, and I'm not going to say what happens to him, but then eventually Shay becomes a Templar. So you do that. You obviously get your ship on there called the Morrigan. You obviously get different weapons to Black Flag. It's obviously colder climates as well. Now obviously in the present day, when you do the first of Shay's memories, you are in Abstergo and a virus is set off, and you actually have to help contain the virus pretty much and get rid of it pretty much. So its storyline of what it is very good. I've pretty much nearly finished the game. I'm about, I think, 2-3 hours off finishing it completely. This story anyway. And what I've played of it is very, very good. Graphically, it's not up to scratch, but I can understand, because Rogue was made specifically for the last generation's hardware. You can't, like, say, like Unity, it's got the better graphics because it was made for this generation of hardware, whereas Rogue was made for the last. So what you got to remember is Rogue would have had a different engine to Unity, which is true, actually, it did. Rogue would have had different elements, UI, as you see, if you play it. Everything would be different to it in its like engine, pretty much, of how it runs, its sound engine, graphics engine, etc. Now, as I said, the storyline is very good. I would give it a 10 out of 10 for that. It's so like gripping. It's unreal. At times it can get a bit like, okay, but it is so gripping. And what actually, I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers here, but what actually happens through the story, you can understand what Templars actually do, because this is the first one where you actually play as a Templar, pretty much. It's very good with the Eagle Vision as well. The only thing I've got to admit with the storyline I'm not a fan of is, I slightly am, but slightly not, is the Stalkers, kind of, which are basically assassins. Yeah, they're alright, and it's a good addition, because you've got to be more alert, but at times it can get so annoying. Like, I was taking, I think, 4 on it the other day, and I literally had done everything bar for the flag, and I think it was the captain or something like that, not captain, commander, and pretty much I went to do the flag and he came up behind me and killed me. Now, fair enough, that might just be me being a bit noobish, whatever, but that's my opinion, I would say, personally. It can get annoying, but it's still very fun. Now, if you don't know, in your ship's cabin, it's changed again with this. You still get your upgrades to the Morgan, you still get your clothes, you still get your fleet, but your fleet is changed slightly, which I shall talk about in a minute. You actually get something called a bank. Now, when you take gang outposts or gang bases, you actually can renovate buildings around it. Now, when you renovate those buildings, you actually get money, and that money goes into your bank, which is in your ship, and you actually, I think it's banks around, not around, in those actual bases, and you actually collect that gold, which can be very, very useful. Another thing I would say, though, is I would say try and make it so you can get, like, I know this isn't really Assassin's Creed-ish, but I would say it would have been nice if they would have had a part of it on there where you can get like resource parts as well, and like some resource makers or something like that, like a metal maker or something like that, and you actually get the metal on there, so you get gold and you get metal. But for those resource makers, you basically get just the metal, but for everything else, you get the gold. And like, let's say for stone, you get stone, etc. Now, that is a very good addition on the renovation stuff. It was more, was more in 3. It wasn't so much in 4, as much 3 it was. Assassin's Creed 3, that is. But it's a very good addition to see, really. It was quite big, I think it was Liberation, that was it. It was very, very big in there. Now, overall, with it, it's very good, I've got to admit. It controls very well as well. Basically, I've used a keyboard and mouse, which I don't usually use, and done very well. I've also used an Xbox 360 Windows controller, and have done very well. So it's very, very good with the controls. Personally, for how it controls, I would give it a 10 out of 10 because it's brilliant. Its controls are. Now we need to talk about bugs, really. Now, yes, admittedly, Rogue does not have as many bugs as Unity had. I will say that now, but there is kind of a lot, but not a lot. There's not like stupendous amounts. Like, I think Unity in the end had like 600 bugs in the game. This I've seen 5, 6 myself, and it might not even be a bug actually. Like, sometimes when you are with your ship taking other ships, it actually, the back end of the ship goes into the back end of the other one, and actually you're actually stuck and you can't get over. onto the other ship if you use the crow nests. If you try and go through the crow nests to the crow nest of the other ship, you can't actually do it because you just fall off. What was the other one? The other one was that, oh, what was it? It's not as bad as a bug that was on 4, which I will actually say in a minute what that was. What was the other one I saw? Yeah, I think another one was where I was stuck in another ship at the front, and I, like, the people that was actually on the other ship, they couldn't move, and I couldn't kill them when I was taking a ship. That was another one. I think another one was where, I think Shay, like, stopped or something like that, and you couldn't move him. There's not horrendous amounts of bugs though. Now, as I said, in Assassin's Creed 4 actually, there was a huge horrendous bug in it. 2 actually. One of them is where you get stuck inside the Man of War and can't get out. And another one is where, and I can't remember what they called it, but your ship basically goes like 500 feet in the air and up on its side, and you're on it. You can't get off and you just fall to your death. That was another one. That doesn't happen in Rogue, as I've seen of. As I've seen of, I haven't seen it happen. Personally, for how well, like, and how much bugs it actually has, and how you can manage them in, like, a little review of the bugs, pretty much. They don't have a lot. So personally, and I'm trying to think of a way to say this, how well it's coded or the least bugs that it's got, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It does have some annoying bugs, but not game breaking as I've seen of. Now, graphics, I think I can't remember saying, yeah, it's alright, it's very good, and like how smooth it runs as well. It runs smoother than 4 did, very smooth. 4 on the PC was horribly optimized. This is more optimized than 4 was, but I still think it could have been optimized that little bit more. I can understand why it couldn't be, because it was such a big open world, but it could have been just that little bit more optimization. I can run it on Ultra 1080p and 60 FPS, but like some games I like actually using the DSR feature. It would have been nice if they would have optimized that feature as well a bit more, so you can actually run it on like 1440p with good frame rates. It would have been nice, but still, it's very well optimized. For its performance and graphics on the PC, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. It does need a little bit of optimization, but it's still very good. Now, I'm just trying to think what else we had. The ship combat and like the open worldness, very good. You can explore anywhere. You can take man of war ships on. You can take frigates, anything pretty much. Now, obviously, on this one, you can take forts as well. I forgot to add that. You can obviously, well, in the starting of the game, when you're an assassin, you can attack British, but once you become a Templar, you actually cannot attack the British, and you can only attack the French. So, yeah, that's a very good feature, I gotta admit, and I can understand why they did it, because in 4 you wasn't really allied with the country. You was a pirate, pretty much. That's the best way to put it. You was a pirate. So yeah, I would say personally for the free roam side, I'd give it a 10 out of 10 again. Soundtrack, very good, I've got to admit. There's not a lot really I can explain about it, but the sound design is very, very good, and I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. Now, overall, is Assassin's Creed Rogue worth buying? If you have a gaming PC or you don't have a 360 and PS3 and you have a PC, or vice versa? Yes. Is it the true send-off that Assassin's Creed needed from the last generation? Yes. Personally, like, if you don't know as well, the soundtrack, the main theme, actually has 3 different parts to it. It's actually a remix of 3 different parts. The first part is Ezio's family theme. The second part is Assassin's Creed 4, and the third part is Assassin's Creed 3. Basically, it's those themes, and obviously it doesn't include the first Assassin's Creed, but it's a tribute pretty much to as many like of the last generation Assassin's Creeds, they probably knew that was going to be the last generation of it. Last Assassin's Creed game on last generation. And it's really like the send-off that it needed. The last hurrah, and I think honestly it's quite underappreciated. Rogue is. It's very, very good, and like if you compare it to Unity at launch, Rogue run horrendously better, and that sounds bad, but it run very, very good. It does, for what it is. It's like so smooth, the performance and everything with it. Yeah, I think it got the send-off Assassin's Creed it did need on last generation, personally, because it combined kind of characters from the other games. The only one it didn't combine was Ezio. I think it combined elements from Assassin's Creed 2. It combined the ship combat from Assassin's Creed 4 and 3 slightly, and it also combined like some characters from Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 4. It kind of combined those types, really. I don't know fully if it did combine anything from 1. I think it did, but I could be wrong. And I can't remember what it was anyway. So my final review is on should you buy it? Yeah, it's a very good game. It's worth buying, I gotta admit. I was skeptical at first, but it is worth buying the game. It's worth every penny. And my final review, I'm going to say, is a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very good game, but it does need some improvements, I would say. So, on that note, guys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to end there. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more good content. Like if you like, dislike if you disliked. Comment let me know your thoughts, any video improvements, quality improvements or sound improvements. Share as much as you possibly can, and again I'm going to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.